How to know that your manifestation is coming and the technique you've been using is working. Hello my darlings, welcome back to my channel, or if you're brand new, welcome. My name's Lucie. My lips are not normally this big, and on this channel I share things about personal development, spirituality, and how to become the best version of you. I used this product called Plump It, and it's like putting spice on your lips or something, I don't know, and my lips are currently on fire and plumped up, and I just wanted to acknowledge that before we dive into this video. So anyway, what I'm actually going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you, I've written down here in front of me, 3 signs that I know of that are really good indicators that you're on track, that the vibrational work, the inner work has been done, and things are flowing to you. The manifestation is well on its way. And what I've also got here are a couple of tips of what to do if these things are not happening for you, so that you can actually get something from this video no matter what. This is Editor Lucie coming at you from Spain, and I just wanted to add and emphasize the fact that with most things that you want to manifest, a certain degree of action is obviously going to be required too, right? So for example, if you want to create a thriving YouTube channel with an amazing online community, of course, you've got to put in the time and energy to create those videos and edit them and upload them, right? You can't just think about it and it's going to magically appear before your eyes. But the inner work, the vibrational work, the energy work that I'm talking about in this video is a huge fundamental part of the process, because if that work is not done, then you self-sabotage, you don't take the action, or you take a little bit of action, or you maybe even take a lot of action and don't get the growth that you're after. So bear that in mind. Take this all on board, enjoy the video, and remember to go out there and actually live and do stuff that brings it towards you, as well as doing the mindset stuff. Love you. So first of all, if you're at a point now where when you think of the thing that you want, it actually feels very natural to you. It feels very familiar, very normal, as real to you as anything else in your life. That's a really good sign that you've made it to a place mentally where you're thinking from it, and your concept of yourself and your concept of that thing are on a level playing field, i.e. you're not putting it up on a pedestal and thinking that you're down here, or thinking that it's really far away and thinking that you're all the way back here. So it's a really good sign if it's feeling very natural and familiar. And in those moments when, and usually if we're looking at Neville Goddard, he talks about assume the feeling and live in the end, which means live mentally like you're already there. So, that's an extreme example, and that's really the goal, I suppose, is spend some of your conscious time each day there. And he's done it. He told this story of when he was in a army training camp, I guess you could call it, and he really didn't want to be there. He didn't want to go to war. He didn't want to be a soldier. He didn't believe in war, and he wanted to be at home with his wife and child. So every night when he went to sleep, and we're talking just a few nights that he had to do this, it was only a few nights that it took, he would go to sleep in the bunker with all these other men probably on bunk beds around him. And he mentally he chose to imagine that he was at home, in his bed at home, with his wife next to him and his child sleeping in the cot, even though he was in the camp in this bunk bed. So he did that. I think he said it was for 8 or 9 nights. And also during the day, he didn't fully mentally engage and focus on where he was. Instead, throughout the day, he was also mentally doing what he could to be where he wanted to be in his mind's eye. So he did that, and then after 9 days, he was brought into the office. They handed him a letter of dismissal, and he was free to go. And we're talking like World War II, when it was compulsory to go to war if you were a man. So it wasn't like they were handing out these letters of dismissal willy-nilly. It was a pretty miraculous thing that took place, and that's his story. Now, if you can do that, fantastic. If, though, your present reality is quite demanding of your attention and you can't just be totally delusional and live in the end, and you've got to pay attention to where you are right now, that's okay. But while you are focused on where you are right now, and I personally also do applaud the importance of being present and appreciating where you presently are. So when you're in that state, see if you can feel about that future that it's inevitable, that you feel really excited, like an upcoming holiday or like an upcoming order that you've placed online that is going to be delivered to you. You know, there's no worrying, doubting, wishing, hoping, and not believing. There's just this feeling of inevitability and this feeling of anticipation and excitement, knowing that soon it's going to be yours. So either be there in your mind, live in the end, or while you're living in this present reality, feel excited and inevitable about where you are. So if you're feeling that either of those ways, you're on the right track. It's really good stuff. If you're not, see if you can practice that. See if you can take what it is that you want off the pedestal. And like I said before, and I've talked about this in previous videos too, if you can bring your self-concept up and the concept of that goal down to meet you in the middle, then you're on the right track. That's the sweet spot. So the second sign is, hang on, my camera's overheating. Okay. The second sign is that ideas are flowing to you. So the cool thing about a lot of these manifestation techniques, from my scripting technique, where you write down things as if they're already your reality and you're grateful for them. I'll put a whole playlist in the description below if you want to explore my scripting technique, because I do swear by that technique. Everything that I wrote down came true. So definitely check it out. Whether you're using a scripting technique, another manifestation technique, whether you are using one of Neville Goddard's visualization and imagine or act techniques, they all involve focusing on the end result and not worrying too much about the how it's going to happen. Now, I'll hold my hands up. I'm quite a fan of knowing how it's going to happen, particularly with strategic goals. So for example, if I want to manifest a specific monetary goal, business goal, subscriber growth goal, business growth goal, then I will strategically work it backwards and go, okay, so if I want this, I would need this many customers or this many subscribers or this many views. So how could I bring that to happen? And I do like to plan my action, right? So I just want to acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with that. But if there are goals where you can't see the journey from where you are to where you want to go, it's not a bad thing at all, because the path will light up as you go along, especially if you've got clear on the end goal. So a second sign that this is working, you're on the right track, is that suddenly ideas are coming your way. Strategies and hows are coming your way. Ideas are flowing. People are connecting you to people or to books or to ideas or to teachers that are giving you exactly the answers that you're looking for. So that's really exciting if you're in that place. If you're not in that place, if you feel like you're completely at a block and you just can't figure out how any of this is going to happen, your creativity is at an all-time low, and you just, no ideas are flowing, then number one way to get that unblocked is to follow a breathing technique of deep, slow inhales and exhales for at least 10 minutes a day. And while you're focusing on the breath, and I invite you, when you're doing this breathing, don't do it because I have to do this breathing technique. Do this breathing technique and enjoy and allow it to make you feel relieved. Allow it to relieve you of tension, of resistance, of things that you're holding on to or holding away from, or fear or stress, or any of that kind of stuff. Allow the breath to dissolve it and help you. And I'm not an expert, by the way, at the science of breath work, parasympathetic nervous systems, all that jazz. But I do know from people that are experts, and from what I've heard, it was enough to convince me that this is evidence-based. Our breath is one of the most underrated free techniques that we have at our disposal that very few people in the 21st century actually use with intention. Most people are just breathing to survive, not using the breath to open things up, to get energy flowing, to clear the mind, etc., etc., etc. So I actually created a meditation that's all about the breath. It's funny because I didn't call it like manifest your wildest dreams meditation. And so it hasn't got as many views as if I had called it something like that. So don't take it for granted. Don't think, I don't need that breathing meditation. Seriously, I would recommend it as one of the top ones. I should call it something different to get more views on it. Not just because I want more views, but because I want more people to experience the breathing. So I'll put it up here. I never know which side it's going to be, but I'll put it up there. Please give it a go. And if you like it, do it daily, and it will clear things for you so that you can get those ideas flowing. The third sign that something is in escrow, on its way, is that you're starting to see a lot of synchronicities, signs, coincidences, or is it not a coincidence? Where you're thinking, oh my God, like I've just been talking about that. I've just been thinking about that. Or isn't that just the perfect confirmation that I'm on the right track? If you've been experiencing things like that, I truly believe that they are positive indicators, either number one, from a spiritual realm where your guides, your ancestors, your angels are communicating with you to say, yo, like we're with you. We just want to let you know everything's good. It's going to unfold. So stay positive, stay grateful. Or on a very logical, scientific level, your reticular activating system is working. So for example, if you've been really focused on a particular material thing that you want, like let's say a particular car, and then you're seeing that car everywhere, on one hand, on a spiritual way, you could look at it as a beautiful sign that you're on the right track, but you could also look at it on a logical way that you're on the right track, because it means that your brain, out of the millions of things that it could focus on, the reticular activating system always narrows down the things that actually our conscious mind computes. So if your conscious mind was computing everything, life would be incredibly overwhelming. So we have this part of our brain that helps us to filter out all of the things that are unnecessary or unimportant, and to see the most important things. So if you've been doing the work to train your reticular activating system to know that seeing that car is one of the important things to you, then that's a sign that your brain is starting to respond to the focus work that you've been doing. So and then a fourth thing, just to throw it in there as a bonus, sometimes I've experienced, if I've been visualizing what I want before sleep, or I've been reading my scripting letter with feeling about what I want before sleep, then I actually experience it in a dream, or I experience that scene and I see it again in a dream. Ooh, that is a big sign that the subconscious has most definitely received it and is digesting it on such a level that then it's playing it back to you while you sleep. So that's a bonus. It's not one of the three things that I was going to mention, but it's a fourth one. And if you've experienced that, let us know in the comments, because that's always pretty cool when that happens. So if you got some value from this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so that I know and so that the algorithm knows that this is the kind of video for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss another video. And if you want to get access to more in-depth videos, to entire online courses and a library of masterclasses from me and from guest manifestation teachers who are some of the best in the industry, then have a look at joining my members only area, where you can get access to an entire vault of all kinds of goodies like that for a small monthly subscription. Anyway, thank you for supporting me, for supporting my channel. I love you. You got this. It's on its way. It's inevitable. It's already yours. And I'll see you next time. Bye.